Hi guys, I'm Guillermo from Guglatech. Today we will discuss how to prepare our filters, both matrix, for either off-road or sand riding, or even the new sport version we did for street use. Basically, the most important thing in our kind of filter is to understand the flow of the air. Why? Because our matrix filter is very dense, so there is no need to put too much oil like in other filter. For both sides, you just have to oil the side that will see the flow of air with the most dirt, which is the one facing outside the airbox. So over here, two examples. This is the B&W 1200 or 1250 liquid cool generation. You can see that the air filter is sitting inside this frame and facing this way. So basically, technically, it's the back of the filter that is seeing the dirt coming from the air, from outside, and protecting the engine. It's called the back of the filter because usually this is called the front, where you have the frame for mounting it. So in this case, we would oil this side of the filter. Other example, modern. This is the KTM 790 Duke. The street version. You have also the Adventure, and the airboxes are quite different because they both are based on these wedges. Both wedges, but filters are sitting a different way. In the Duke, the filter is facing with the back toward the entry of the air, but the sealing is at the bottom of, at the flat side of the frame of the filter. While on the Adventure is anyway facing this way, but the sealing is on this side, on the frame of the filter, like in the B&W. In both cases, we would oil the part of the filter, so the back of the filter again, because of the airflow. This filter, for example, is the one for the KTM 1190, 1090, 1290, all the new generation. In this case, this filter is sitting here, so the sealing of the filter is on the frame edge, but the air is going from the front of the filter. So again, another case where, according how the filter is mounted and how the flow is going through the filter, we will check how to oil the filter. Last example. B&W F800, again, the filter sits flat like this, there is a frame pushing it in the airbox, and the dirty side of the filter is the one on the front of the filter, so we will oil this side of the filter. Oiling the filter is quite easy. Let's prepare our small lab. As always, our special oil, we recommend, as always, rock oil factory eco foam. For three reasons, is very good. It's totally eco-friendly. You can wash with soap and warm water. And it's very, very good for our filters. It has an amazing compatibility with our matrix, much better than other oils. So what we're going to do? Like we said, we check what side of the filter will see the most of the dirt. Let's start with the B&W F800, the back of the filter. We will simply spray this side of the filter, not the front one. There is no need to soak the filter. Our sprinkler, you can use also the spray version, spray can, no problem. Then you will check the color of the filter if it's homogeneous. You can see that at the back, only a few parts have seen the oil, which is too much, but it doesn't make any difference. That went through. Then you would let the filter sit for, let's say, 15 minutes, and we will mount it. Now, to mount this filter, we can clean it, but it's not necessary. Where would you put the grease? You would put the grease on the side of the frame, which basically seals the airbox. On the F800 would be the flat at the back of the filter. So you would put the grease. We recommend either lithium grease or sealing grease. Sealing grease is not so common to find. Lithium grease is very easy to find. So we would just take the grease. Either you put it directly on the airbox if you have access to the airbox side, flat surface, or we simply put it at the back of the filter with the finger. You don't need that much. You need enough so that there will be no air or no dust passing through it. Why we suspect dust may pass through? Because dust is very nasty. Dust can go from 250 microns up to 2 microns. With the grease, you avoid that any air or dust would bypass the filter and go around the filter. I believe it's called blow-by. This filter is ready to be mounted on the airbox of the F800. Let's go to next one. We said in case of the KTM, for example, 790 Adventure, it would be this filter. The filter is facing inside the airbox like on the 1200, so it's gonna sit here on a groove inside the airbox. So we would oil this side of the filter. Bigger filter, more oil, but just because surface is, I believe, 2.5 times the one of the F800. Filter is ready. And we would go on putting the grease either here, but I recommend inserting and applying the grease directly inside the airbox. We will see this with the 1200 because it's easier to access and show on the camera. So we'll put this way, this filter away. Let's prepare the filter for the 1200 and 1250, which is this one. Again, we would put the oil on this side of the filter because it's the one facing the dirt. Again, small oil. Ready to go. And now we prepare the airbox. Quite easily, you will check the groove where the filter would sit, and first cleaning it to avoid any dust to stay under the grease because it makes no sense. We will clean the groove very simply. You can use Vaseline oil, you can use silicone oil, you can use alcohol, whatever you like. I mean, we prefer just to do it with other oils because it will allow the grease to stick better. And then we will simply, again, following the groove, hope I can show it in camera as well, put the grease inside the groove. Try simply to match the groove so that there will be grease at the bottom of the groove, thus allowing the filter to seal perfectly. Remember, there is no need to put that much grease. It will be expelled by the filter once the filter will occupy the place of the groove. So don't be worried if there is grease coming out. There will be no grease going to the engine, so there is no problem. Okay, let me finish here because it's a bit not so easy to reach while facing the camera. This application can be done every time you wash the filter. When you're supposed to wash the filter, well, our matrix are very resistant. The airflow is the correct one for your engine. And we assume that unless you are doing some sand races and some heavy dust or heavy fine sand and dust race, your filter is good to go for 30,000, 40,000 kilometers. So there is no need to take it down every 5,000 kilometers to clean it. And remember, a filter that has started to accumulate dust inside its matrix is a filter that works better because the dust will be held in position by the oil or by the matrix itself if you use it only on the road, and will help catching finer dust and smaller particles. So you have what's called in the jargon cake. The cake build is making the filter more effective and efficient in collecting dust and stopping it. Now we're ready. We just take the filter, we put it into position. Look, it's even standing, it's basically grease mounted now. Then we will put on top its frame. Again, cover on top, screws, and the filter is ready. That was quite simple. Let's see it on the 790 Duke, where we have the other kind of mounting, which is the one sealing from the back of the frame. $790 Duke. the filter gets in. This is the airbox, this goes to the throttle bodies, and this comes from the outside, so the air goes from here to the throttle bodies, which means the filter is mounted this way. This is the back of the filter facing the dirty air, and here again we will have the contact surface where the filter is supposed to hold all the dust. Again, we will oil the filter. Come on, let's not oil it, we're losing time. So we simply put the grease. This time you can either access the surface or doing like the F800, putting directly the grease at the rim of the frame. Why do we recommend to put grease also for street use? Well, on the street you're not expecting heavy dust, you're expecting some contamination, like from heavy diesel trucks, or you're expecting some dust from the billiards, for example. So it's very fine dust. We go below 10 microns, we go around 20 microns. What's going to be to your engine? Very little, almost no damage. But why should we allow any dust to enter the airbox and then the engine if we can prevent it? So that's why we recommend always preparing your filter for the best condition. For the street use, you can use our standard matrix dry. But in case you have 790 Duke, we have developed a special filter deriving from the 1290 Duke, Super Duke, which has a finer matrix and allows more air, increasing the torque. This filter it's only for race purposes, so on the street must be mounted oiled. Okay, so we have prepared our filter. As you can see, there is the grease at the bottom of the filter. We will simply mount the filter and then mount back all the parts. Like this, your bike is ready for any kind of trips, adventure rides. Remember, always oil the side of the filter which will see the dirt coming from the air. Don't oil the other one, it's not necessary. Here you have some oil passing some other areas that are not soaked in oil. This filter has not been designed to be soaked in oil, like cotton or foam or other filters. This will have a help from the oil for the ultra-fine dust, but doesn't need to be ultra-soaked to collect big particles. They will be stopped by the matrix itself. I hope this video was explanatory about how to treat the Guglatech filter for any kind of applications. In case you have more questions, please contact us. If you like the video, thumb up, subscribe to our channel and follow us, because there will be more interesting products and information about bikes, riding and adventure. Thank you so much.